Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I am passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you were meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go.
You know what? I'm like going to twist this on you for 1 second, because I think listeners, like these big life-changing moments come from things that you just wouldn't expect. Maybe you're sitting here listening and like, oh, that'd be nice to be able to invest. But like some of the first investments we made, we worked really hard to get the money for them because we knew that it was maybe into a person or a group of people that would like change the trajectory of our life if we like made an investment showing up like, hey, we're serious about this, or we want to help. And that has been life-changing for us, like to go and put the money down on something for someone, and then you get introed into this group that you wouldn't normally have access to, but because you showed up and gave that money, whether it is into a product or whether it's into like a room, like you're in, like people take you serious. They're like, oh, they put their money where their mouth is. Oh, these are people who are going to make it happen. These are people who are like going to go and find a way to do the things that they need to get done. And I think when you are like playing at that level as well, you want those people around you, and you're like, cool, you're one of those people too. Okay. Cause the conversations are different. And like, what did investing for you open up? I'm so curious, cause I know what it did for me.
It was something that we were talking about. We had previously invested in real estate.
Yeah.
And in all of our free time that we had in 2020, we were chatting about, let's have a real conversation like this. And the irony is that we're making no money from our business. We have zero revenue coming in, but we're talking about investing money.
Right.
Thankfully had other income streams, which I'm a big advocate for that. But we wanted to do something different. And when we got the deck to look at the opportunity, I knew who I was investing in, which I have loved since hearing you and Chris have conversations largely on your podcasts where like what your criteria is for investing. And I knew that we were investing in you and having this conversation sort of offline with people over the last few years, from the original light pink investment to the pivot to where we are now with Glōci, that I've always been so confident that I'm like, I love the updates that Lori sends for investor updates, but I'm so confident in everything she's going to be doing and making the hard decisions she's going to be making because it's the fearless leader of who I trust. And I think it was really just going back to your question, it was an opportunity that you are someone that I've admired for years, that I wanted to just grow a different part of me and stretch myself, that, making a big investment was new for me and something that I was excited about doing. And then you had the investor dinner, which was honestly to the day about 30 days after my dad passed away.
That's right.
And I remember sitting with this decision and almost a bit of guilt of like, do I go? Do I not go? This feels really irresponsible to be going to Arizona 30 days after my dad passed away suddenly. But I think I will regret if I don't go. And the second I pulled up in an Uber, I was nervous as hell, walking in by myself because I don't really know anyone. I knew one other girl who was another Canadian investor that wasn't there, and went in really nervous and kind of intimidated that I'm like, I don't know who's going to be in here, but probably women that are doing things bigger than I am, doing things better, longer, and why am I here? What am I doing?
What a perfect room to be in.
Yeah, I was very uncomfortable. Yeah. So I just proceeded to put one foot in front of the other and walk in. And I was like, there are probably really worse things that could happen, but I'm just going to take a nice deep breath and I'm going to appreciate being here. And I am so glad that I came because it has opened new doors of friendships, or now with having podcast guests and opportunities for events and collaborations. And I'm just so grateful to have had an opportunity to unlock a higher level of friendship and community.
You have to go and do the things that scare you because it'll open up everything else. And then it's not scary. Like I guarantee even an hour in, you were like, okay, this is not that crazy. Like you're meeting people, you're talking to people like at the investor dinner, like it's not that big of a deal. You just, it's not scary once you get in. It's like the first hour of anything is like, this is intimidating. And then you can kind of drop in.
And I love the idea of being uncomfortable and then doing those things. I've used that a lot, even in personal training where people are afraid to do a step up. I'm like, well, if it scares you, then it's great. Go.
Yeah.
Because that's life.
Totally.
That's life, business. And I'm sure building a company, you're doing things that scare you every day, every week.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Glōci.
Okay.
What
do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about what was your biggest learning lesson from Light Pink and moving into Glōci?
I mean, I think the biggest, most basic one is to look at what you are going into and the laws around it first.
Great learning lesson.
But the thing is that those things are kept, they're so gate kept until you're in it and until you've paid the money to start the process with the teams that you can't really know if you're just doing it on your own. But I should have found somebody who was really in exactly what I was in, direct to consumer. But it's crazy because I did find people, but they wouldn't tell me. So it's almost like it was meant to be. Yeah, it was very gate kept. If something's really gate kept, that also might be a red flag, that it's a little bit of a gray area, because it was direct to consumer like wine, which was fairly new. Not a lot of people were doing it because it's kind of gray. So it was one of those things that if you're thinking of something, a lot of people went into CBD, or a lot of people did alcohol. It's like, look at the red tape that you'll have to go through with whatever you're doing. Even supplements are a little bit challenging, but nothing compared to what I was doing. But for some people, supplements will feel very challenging because there is a lot of legal, which also means the amount of money that you're going to have to spend to even get launched is going to be really high. Some of my legal bills in Light Pink of just getting started, and we weren't even halfway there yet, was $250K.
Oh,
yeah. Just to make sure everything was coherent, or that it was legal.
And then you have Canada.
Yeah.
And we have a whole new layer of complications, we'll call it, in a very light way.
I mean, legal's crazy because it's if you want an expert in that certain field, some of them are $1,000 an hour. So, and you have to go with the person who's the expert. You don't want to go with the person that's I do that sometimes. So, because this is your business that you're talking about. And yes, even with that, I was still taking some risks. So it was that's the first thing that I would say. The second thing is, if you're going to ship something, look at the weight of it, because shipping costs are so high now. And also, how big is it? And the shipping, box cost is really huge. So if you're going to look at something like a physical product, those are all things of price it all out from start to finish. Does your skill set align with being able to market this easier? Because you're either going to be the marketer and you're going to save some money in that way for your company, where you can really help market it, even though you're still going to have to market it. You're still going to have to do ads and do all of the other things. But does your skill set align with something that could get the company further or save it a lot of money in the beginning, so that you can get it off the ground, instead of well, I don't really know what any of this is, so your skill set can't be applied to any of it, so you're not saving money anywhere.
Oh my God, the huge lessons that I would imagine you kind of set out to make these plans, and then we and by me, it's royal we, of you, that you're learning these things every single day, week over week, or your team, and continuously applying these new learnings to how you're going to do things bigger, better, month after month. And we got some exciting news today, as people being part of Glōci. And I know I get so many requests from people in the DMs about Glōci in Canada, and we were sort of jamming before we hit record how we're going to try to tackle that. But where were you when you came up with the sort of the pivot to Glōci? Were you on a walk? Were you lying in bed staring at the ceiling because you couldn't sleep?
Okay, so when Light Pink started to look like I did not have a viable business, I was looking at ways to have upsells. And I'm like, well, I use like 2-3 hydration packets a day. That seems to go really well, obviously, with drinking. But then I was looking at so then I really started looking into my hydration packets. I'm like, okay, if we're going to do hydration packets, like,
what's in them?
What if they did more and what's in them? So I look at it and I'm turning it over and I'm like, and I was talking to someone about it at the time because she had just talked to like the biggest producer of these hydration packets. And so I was like, oh my God, I am just drinking really expensive sugar and salt, like really expensive. And I was like, there's really nothing else in here. There's some electrolytes and flavoring. And I'm like, why is this such expensive sugar and salt? Now, when you have a product, it costs a lot of money to get a product to your doorstep. So that makes sense. But I was like, what if maybe we did a little bit more of a premium version of this and we actually put in ingredients that caused big results that women wanted? Because everything that I had seen at that point was either very sciencey or bro-y, and I didn't feel like I was being marketed to as a female with like any sort of packet or like any sort of result that I would want. So I actually got together with a bunch of my girlfriends and I was like, if you could have this packet do anything, what would it be? And can I put surveys into your group? So I called Boss Babes because they have a really large community, and I asked them if I could put in this survey into their group, and then I put it into a couple other people's groups and then my stuff. And I said, like, how do you want to feel every day? Like, what is something that you'd like, what are the things that you would want this thing to do if we were able to create something? And it all came back from women saying like the things that they feel like the problems that they're dealing with. They feel weighed down in their bodies. They feel bloated. They want their skin to glow. They want to feel more hydrated. Like, it was all of these different, I'm like, I feel all of these things too. Yes, absolutely. And they're overwhelmed, like, with all the things that they should be taking. So I was like, okay, if we just put like the main things into one packet, what would that be? Okay, so we're like weighed down, bloated. Well, that's gut. Like, they're probably not digesting their food. Maybe their diet isn't so great yet. Like, what could we do to help this a little bit? Because we really view this as like, we hope that Glōci is an entry point to a healthier lifestyle all around. Like, I love that. It's that moment of, oh, I'm doing one good thing for myself. What else could I do? Like, I kept this habit. And when you keep habits, when you keep promises to yourself and keep those little habits, massive things can come from that. Massive things can come. It's just like, if you can only do one thing today, do this. So that's like the packet that we wanted to create. So that's why we came up with all of the ingredients that we came up with, because it goes after bloating, it goes after, skin. We want to help you with the appearance of fine lines. We just want to make you feel better all around.
What was the number one ingredient that Lori wanted in there?
I wanted the probiotic because I know that gut is attached to everything. Mm-hmm. And when people have gut issues, they typically have skin issues. And skin is biggest organ in your body. So if you're not, and I knew this from Fitness Alley, I was like, when I eat like shit, my skin looks like shit. So I knew that if we could just get some better ingredients and have them start like digesting their food and getting, some vitamins into their system, that we could probably make a pretty good impact quick. And so Chris and I, coming from, I had been in the health and fitness world forever. So I took so many supplements, and then we were also in network marketing, took so many different things. And I knew that if you don't experience a result in the first couple weeks, that you're kind of over it. Like, if you're not into it, or it's not making you drink more water, if you're not seeing something or feeling something. So when I went into formulation with this science team, and then when we asked all the doctors and dermatologists, I was like, this needs to literally work. I'm not going to go through all of this if we don't have ingredients in here that actually work. So we went with less ingredients, but more of the ingredient.
Well, I think that's something that a lot of consumers would appreciate, that they're all ingredients that you can read and pronounce versus, these complicated words. I also love that there's hyaluronic acid in a Glōci packet and prickly pear. And you were just sharing a really cool fact about prickly pear that I knew I loved it as an ingredient in sort of familiarity in Arizona, but I didn't really understand the health benefits of it. And I really appreciate, as a consumer, that I look at the packaging, the social media, marketing, all of that, email, newsletters, that all the ingredients are really premium ingredients that are easy to pronounce and easy to understand. And I think consumers now are very smart for the most part. Most consumers are very, very smart and very aware of what they are investing in, especially in the wellness space, and what they are putting in their bodies and how they want to look and feel. And even the befores and afters that are coming in since Glōci launched have been remarkable.
I'm really excited. Like, I think that's been the most that is the most exciting part is I'm like, oh my God, like we knew it would do stuff, but I just got a 2-month before and after this morning that I was like, oh my God, like skin texture, skin tone, and just how this person feels is mind blowing. She's like, I've run out of all of my packets because I give them all to my friends. And I'm like, okay, well, let's not let this happen.
So selfless.
I know. I was like, no. You can't run out because we need your 3-month before and after.
Yeah. Yes. You should feel so proud.
I'm so proud.
Do you feel proud?
I feel super proud. Yes.
What are you most excited about right now about Glōci?
I want more people to have transformations. So I at first, well, I'm equally excited. I'm excited about the ambassador and affiliate program. That's a bit of a slower lift than I expected, like slower getting off the ground and getting everyone like onboarded and getting them going and getting them excited about the product because it's new. So I want people to hear this because
And can anyone be an affiliate?
anyone can be an affiliate right now. That's not going to be for long though. So you do have to do an application process, but right now we're just kind of like, that's how we're testing our affiliate program.
Okay.
So get in while you get in right now because there will be parameters soon. It's just right now we're doing all data collection and everything, trying to figure out who that perfect affiliate is. And then from the affiliate program, you can get invited into the ambassador program, which comes with a lot of perks monetarily, like more money, but also a lot of experiences that we'll be doing later in the year once that is up and truly up and running and onboarded.
This is so neat. And I feel like this is such a beautiful reflection of you, like your entire journey from fitness and wellness as a trainer and gym owner to now having a wellness product, your experience and success in network marketing and having, the more modern look now with affiliate programs, ambassador programs, and then what sounds like these benefits of being in the ambassador program sounds also like it's tapping into your world and expertise of personal development and networking and getting in the rooms and learning from you or probably some people in your network that can speak to, online marketing, email marketing, events. It's really, I'm just sort of listening to you talk about it and had this download that it's this really incredible reflection of you.
It's the intersection of everything I've done. That's why I'm having the most fun is it's all the things that I've done that I've been good at that I'm taking and applying to this. So, and so if anyone's listening, it's like you can create, it might not be, it's not going to be your first thing, but that one's going to be equally as important and you'll learn so many lessons and you'll still hopefully make some money. And then your second thing, and then maybe your third thing, who knows? But they will all feed into each other. So I can only imagine what will be after this because it'll be another level of this, like all my favorite things.
Do you feel like you're in your dream right now?
Oh, yeah. Every single day. So even when it's hard, I wake up and, Chris and I do the Power 9 every morning, which is 3 gratitudes, 3 excited abouts, and 3 manifests. I would say 1, if not 2, are always like so grateful to get to do like everything that I'm doing with Glōci. I'm so grateful to have a company that I'm excited about that even, I have days where I look at my Shopify page and I'm like, shit, like we gotta, I'm like, come on people, because it's the beginning. So I think everybody sees these brands launch and stuff and they're like, they must be crushing it. Like, probably not. Like, we're all out here.
Different.
Exactly. Like, I know that you were at Girlfriends in Business and you got to hear like Kaylee Christina talk about ClearStem in their first year. And then it's like what that first year looks like compared to like year, like even 2 or 3. But for them, what their year 1 looked like compared to their year 3 to 5, people just are not willing to sit in the discomfort of year 1. And so when I look at it, even though, yes, I've had success over here, that doesn't mean that you will have any success in another thing. At all. Like it does in terms of the fact that I'm not going to quit, but it doesn't mean business wise, like as that business as a separate thing from you, that will be successful. It's like you are starting at day 1 all over again. And this is where people, I think, get really scared and intimidated to go to their next thing. It's like what we talked about in the beginning of people can get really stuck in what they're doing because they're afraid of being a beginner. And like, I'm not afraid to say, hey guys, this is a small startup right now. Like we are going to be a small startup for 2 years. Like this is what it's going to look like. We will be hustling our asses off. I will be I packed out your samples.
Yep.
Like this is what it looks like. I am in it. I'm walking to the UPS store once or twice a week to go ship people things that I have packed out. Like we are in startup mode and I'm excited about it and I don't want to skip over that.
Well, I think now in today's society, a lot of people are afraid of hard work.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure where that disconnect happened, but they shouldn't be because it's, it's humbling and it's part of our story and our journey to success.
Yeah.
And that it is, if startup mode, but you've had other successful businesses that you've built and maybe people have built and sold, that it takes hard work in whatever capacity. That was same for Matt and I, that we had this big brick and mortar business that was closed. And thank gosh, we had other sources of income that people can look and see like, oh my God, everything must be fine. Like, no, it's actually not fine because there's zero coming in from this business every month. But thankfully you have other things that you've worked hard to build and have revenue come in from that's comes down to hard work. And I don't know why there is this sort of disconnect for people being afraid of that.
Yeah, I think it's just, like ego and worrying about what people think is such a luxury that once you've lost everything, you're like, oh yeah, I don't want to go back there again. So even if you haven't lost everything, it's worth doing the exercise of like tapping into if you did and what would you do? Because sometimes we sleep on, I was thinking about this today with Glōci. I was like, if my bank account for Glōci was at this number, how would I be working today? And I was like, oh, that wasn't how I was going to work today. And so it's a reminder of you need to work like you're at rock bottom or like your bank account is at zero. If you're in a place where you're not getting to the next level, that's kind of like the reset of how would I be working if this was at zero right now? What would I be doing? Like what would be the most important things I could do? Am I doing that? And that's once in a while I get caught in my inbox, like just trying to catch up with things. I'm like, is this the most important thing I could be doing for Glōci right now?
Well, that's a good perspective shift as well. I think for any of us that are listening as entrepreneurs and business owners or even as employees, if you work for somebody else, what could you be doing?
It's a luxury to be bored. Like,
yes.
But it's going to keep you there. It's going to keep you just kind of and bored. And it's like, if you want to get out of that, you got to go and do that thing
If you were in sort of, and I feel like this is an interesting question because you're not somebody who would be in a rut because you are such a high performer, but if you needed to kick yourself out of maybe a slump mindset, what are some of your go-to things that you would do?
Well, even right now, I know that I need to start doing things that are really uncomfortable for me. Like one of my main jobs is going to be like trying to really learn like, TikTok algorithm, social media. Like I feel pretty confident on, other socials, but TikTok is really the place for products. So we're not only hiring a team for the product, but it's really important that I figure it out. So what I'm doing is like telling people to help me stay accountable and creating KPIs among my team of like what I have to do. So I don't like that. It's like, oh, we need these 3 reels from you this week. Like that doesn't feel good to me, especially when I don't understand TikTok yet and how it's going to look. And that, I post a video right now on TikTok and it gets like 2 views. So that feels shitty.
Love that. Love that. Great for the ego.
But that's like one of the most vital things for my product company right now. So
doing things that we don't know and that are uncomfortable.
Totally.
All right, I want to wrap things up with a couple of rapid fire questions. Okay. And we are going to start at the top with, what are you currently reading?
Oh, I am reading Gary Vee's book, Day Trading Attention.
Ooh, okay, great.
It's the best book ever. Have you read it yet? I mean, it just came out 2 days ago.
No, I heard him talking about it on Skinny Confidential.
It's the best book ever.
Okay, amazing. Add to my list. I feel like every book that you post, I'm like, okay, add to
Christina,
list.
who's in here, is going to love that book.
Oh, I love that.
She's going to be obsessed.
Christina Bartold, I love a little
Christina
shout
Bartold
out.
in the house.
Gazing into your eyes, both of us. Date night. Are you going out or are you staying in?
Going out. I'm in Newport. I go out now. I stayed in Arizona.
Love it. I mean, I would go out here too.
Yeah.
We're going out tonight.
You can't keep me in. It's a thing.
especially with all the new fits.
The new fit.
The
You
new
guys, I'm
fits.
working with a stylist.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with these jeans. And what is your current workout routine?
Well, I walk every single day in the morning, then we walk in the evening, but I do lift 3 days a week. So I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, lift at the gym. They're typically always full bodies because I like that. And then I am adding in some cycle again, which I went back to a cycle class and I haven't been to one because I haven't found one that I like. And
How was that
found
experience?
one here. I literally cried. Like the whole class where they turn the lights off through like 2 songs, and I just bawled my eyes out because I was like, welcome home. Like, because I need to move and think like that, and to move and think with people in the dark was to music. I haven't been able to recreate that for myself.
Because you're a big Soul Cycle girl.
I was huge Soul Cycle, and it shut down here, and some other stuff with Soul Cycle. But anyway.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. Welcoming cycling back. All right. And then I also I love that you already mentioned the Power 9, because that's something that Matt and I have adopted, and we actually started writing them down.
Oh, I
and
love
I
that.
love looking back at, especially the manifestations.
When it comes true, because it
Yes.
does.
Yes. Like big advocates for Power 9. So thank you for bringing that into our life.
That makes me so happy.
What are 3 things that you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for right now. So whenever I do grateful fors, I'm like, don't forget about this moment because it's so magical. So I'm so grateful to be here with you and with Christina and with Erin from DreamWorks, and that we're in Newport, and that I'm grateful that we have people coming to dinner series. That's like, Chris and I never want to forget, like when we end up filling our events, there were times when we did not fill our events, and there will probably be a day where people don't want to be in rooms with us. So I'm so grateful for that.
I beg to differ on that one.
And I'm grateful for my company, truly. Like, I love this company. It's such a creative outlet for me. It's my dream company. It's like all the dream women. So I'm grateful for make you so present.
I think it's amazing. It makes me so proud to be an investor and be a part of Glōci, just to see how lit up you are talking about it. That I think if someone had have told me that externally, that this is a real win when your leader glows about their company, I think it would be something that you easily overlook. And it's just something that I really get when, like, for sure, sitting across from you, that I see you just resonating this joy and love for the company that you're creating. But you can also hear it when you talk about it. When I can hear it sort of audibly when you talk about it through the podcast.
I'm literally made from it now because I drink it so much.
I know. I can't wait to get my package arriving at the hotel.
Know. You guys, this Canada thing, it's making it so hard, but it's happened. When we get there, we're gonna throw a huge party.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We have double hands out from Christina
great.
Bartold in the corner.
Great.
And what are you most excited about right now?
Tomorrow.
Love that.
Yeah, even like right now and tomorrow, I'm just really excited about dinner series and being able to do something with my husband, and that truly, like, a lot of my favorite people in the whole world are in the room tomorrow. So it doesn't get better than that. Favorite speakers too.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
And tell me one thing that you're manifesting as we close out this divine conversation.
300 new customers per month on Glōci on subscription.
Starting when?
I mean, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. It's starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow, we'll start ticking our way up there.
Well, Lori, thank you so much for being here right now. I am really grateful for that. But I'm really grateful for you just as a human, and being such a guiding light for me for the last number of years, and to be a part of everything that you're creating. So thank you so much.
Oh my God. Well, thank you for having me on here. And you guys have been like one of the most fun surprises in our lives, of like, oh my gosh, these people are so cool. Let's hang out with them. And you never know where your friends are going to come from.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone, to the Inspire and Move podcast. And you will get a little friendly reminder in the show notes, but please just go check out Glōci. Be one of the 300 new subscribers. Enjoy the code INSPIRE to enjoy not 15% off, but 25% off when you welcome Glōci into your life. And why not take a look at that affiliate program and be invited into the ambassador program, and just go out there, be great. Thank you so much for listening, being a part of this community, and I am so grateful for you.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took 30 seconds and shared this on social media, send it to a friend, or leave a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I am so grateful to have you part of mine.